Okay, so the Martian opened last weekekend.
And
Um,
did spectacularly well. I
it
mean,
did, and we also, or at least I, was way off on this one.
what were our figures? I think I was
I
in the
w
40s, you were in the mid 30s.
I said it would do 25. You were going, I
Oh,
think, for 35 to 40. It overperformed both our expectations.
yeah, yeah. It scored the second highest opening of October. It's only behind Gravity, which was what, 55.7 million?
Pocket change really is just like 1 million
Yeah,
here,
pocket change.
it's
Yeah,
just like,
yeah. But if we haven't said it already, the Martian opened to 54.3 million this weekend, which is, I think, better than what everyone in the industry was expecting. Although at a budget of 108 million, it does have to score decently high, but 54.3 million with rave reviews, like 94% on Rotten Tomatoes. It looks
hmm
like it's going to follow. Yeah, I mean, it depends on how it does in the following weeks, but it looks like it might follow the trajectory of Gravity. But with all the Oscar buzz and Gravity eventually went on to gross 250 something million at the domestic box office. So this one has a chance to reach those numbers.
Right, and it also has a cinema score, so it's gonna, the drop off is probably not gonna be that high from week to
Yeah.
week.
So good word of mouth from audiences, great reviews, Oscar buzz. This movie's gonna stay in theaters for a while. The other thing is it kind of puts Matt Damon back on the A plus list, I guess. After the Bourne movies, he was only doing modestly well at the box office. I mean, they're just kind of like okay. His films weren't bombs, but they weren't doing nearly as well as the Bourne movies.
Right,
So
and
this
but yeah,
mostly
but
puts him back in that stratosphere.
yeah, true. But to be fair, those movies it's more like him going after movies that he wants to make instead of the money makers. Movies like Promised Land, Monuments Men, and others. Those kind of movies is more like more low key movies, not like big
Yeah,
budget blockbusters like The Martian or the Bourne movies.
right,
Uh,
right, right. Although even with the was it that big budget uh Elysium,
yeah.
that was his other big budget sci-fi movie. Yeah, that one only did so-so.
Right, right. That one was a big budget movie where it bombed. Well, not bombed, but it didn't do
I
that
think
well.
bomb is just
Yeah.
like kind of did so-so.
Yeah, right.
I guess disappointing is the word because you can't say it bombed because I think it still ended up grossing around 100 million. And
Yes, it's a 93, but
yeah,
worldwide it had, it grows 286.
worldwide is actually very good, but I think it's still kind of because of District 9, because of
Yeah.
Neil Blomkamp's previous hit District 9 did so well and was so well regarded. Elysium wasn't as well reviewed and didn't do as well at the box office. People consider it disappointing, but I mean, let's put it this way: a lot of movies would be really happy with those figures.
Right, right. Well, I think Elysium, I think people might think that it's too similar to District 9.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's one of those things where it's kind of like M. Night Shyamalan,
Mm-hmm.
where M. Night has a twist ending, so
Yeah.
every movie he comes out with, people expect a twist ending.
Right, right.
Whereas with Neil Blomkamp, District 9 was one of those sci-fi movies that talk about political issues and current
Yeah.
events, except it's all dressed up in the sci-fi world. And
Right,
so
right.
Elysium follows a similar format where it talks about the 1% and the 99% and
Right.
universal healthcare, except it's
Yeah.
dressed up in this sci-fi environment.
Right, right. Immigration,
Yeah, yeah. And so some people are like, well, it worked really well for District 9, but for this one, no, that number one, that kind of effect has worn off. That I won't say it's a gimmick.
Let's say
And
it's his
plus,
message. His message has worn thin,
yeah,
right?
yeah. His message is worn thin, and maybe it's one of those things where sometimes a certain ideas works really well in one film, and then it doesn't work as well in the next.
Right, and Boomcamp also carried that over to his other movie, Chappie. About this
Mhm.
robot who faces discrimination and what have you, right?
Yeah, and then I think with Chappie, people are kind of like, we're kind of tired of this, it's turning into a little gimmick,
hmm
you
hmm
know.
Yeah, he's basically repeating himself in different movies. I think
Yeah,
that is his problem.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go back to The Martian. The
Okay.
Martian it doesn't have that problem,
No,
obviously.
no. It's based on a bestseller, a novel.
That always helps,
Yep, yep. It's
although it's
not.
not a guarantee.
Yeah, well, it's not Twilight, but hey, and it's kind of like a return to these good sci-fi movies, with Gravity
Yeah,
and The Martian.
yeah,
Interstellar was also good too.
yeah. Plus, I mean, it helps when you have top of the line directors and actors. You got Ridley Scott directing, Jessica Chastain, Chiwetel Ejiofor. I'm probably mispronouncing the name.
You probably pronounce it better than I would do. So yeah,
Yeah.
and also like you say in the
Kristen
last
Wiig,
podcast,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, and like you say in the last podcast, it's a timely movie.
Yeah,
You know
very
with
timely, yeah.
with the recent news about Mars, water and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah, Water and Mars, geez. That's a huge news.